Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So there is one Shanti part of this Upanishad. Once you get the book, you will see. So we're going to just say, whoever has a book can say it with me together. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tatvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So here there are several new people. Basically this is a conversation between a teacher and a student, and teacher has taken them through the journey. We are kind of almost, we have crossed the midpoint also. So but anyway, this particular verse that we did last time, there are three verses talking about the creation. You know how that it basically in one sentence, if there is this world, that means there has to be a creator. You know, something doesn't just fall from the sky. How intricate everything is. 2 minutes you will think that how much order is there in the whole cosmos. Tremendous. In one little atom, it's all programmed and things like that. It's just mind-boggling. And our body is so complicated. And my husband is a biochemist, and he says, I know nothing. Even though 40 years. Because so much keep coming out. You just don't know where. It's like a Anant Mahasagar. Even our own bodies are like that. Mind though even more complicated. They barely scratched the surface. You know? Huh? Neti, true. But, you know, as a humans, we are very curious. Everybody loves to know what is this world, where it came from. That कितना भी नेति करेंगे ना वो जाएगा नहीं हमारे जब तक. So every religion has a story of creation, and it may be different, but until you believe in one of them, you won't be able to move forward. You'll get stuck. So even Vedanta says, okay, you want the story, but unka actually is very, very scientific. The whole elements, how it comes from Akash, Vayu, pura sequence hai. And usme, once we ever do it, it will be so amazing, because as you go, the grossest is the earth element, then earth, water, fire, air, and then Akash. If you go the ascending order, you bolo, or descending, I don't know, whichever way you're looking at it. If you're going from earth upwards, earth is the grossest, so you have all 5 senses in that earth. You know, you can smell it, you can touch it, you can see it, everything, right? Hear it, all the earthquakes. Taste it. We eat every day. Where do you think food is coming from? You know? And look at the science, that वो करेले का जो पेड़ होएगा, वो करेला निकालता है वहाँ से, कड़वाहट धरती से. नींबू वो निकालता है खट्टा. आम, sweet. We never think about it that way. बीज डाला आ गया. अब सोचो, बोई क्यों निकला, कहाँ से आया? आसमान से तो नहीं टपका है, धरती से खींचा गया है, because it's programmed to just do that, things like that, huh? So, and then when you go to the next element is water. So then water is, pure water is, you don't have like the smell in it, right? But for taste you need water. So there's one thing become less. Then you go further, and when you come to fire, there's a form of the fire. Your eyes can see it. Air, do I see air? But I can feel it. But space, you can't even feel it. So how it is so scientific. So, but if you go other order, that's how it came about. That these gunas become divided, and then Dharti has all the gunas, like that you have to think. Very, very scientific when we come to it. But that's beside the point. Right now what they are doing is, so they just did this verse when they said, how did the world come about? They said, the desire came in that Brahman. One want to become many. Actually, it is one only. It's like you have, one atta and you can make 30 different kind of puris out of, or chapati or paratha. It's one became many, The same with the desire, and our desire is a little technical. And then it said that basically it was saying that the desire came, one became many, got born, did tapas and all that kind of thing. And then having created it, entered it. But that's just wrong wordings. Basically saying created out of itself only. So whatever we see is Bhagwan only, because he did not go to what you call some kind of Home Depot to buy the material. Out of himself only he created. Spider example that.
Or a dream.
Dream or a spider example. So all that, and then he's saying, how did he become many? So there was in the verse it said it became defined and undefined, housed and unhouseless. There are things that, you can confine in a form, others you cannot, truth and false. Sab kuch wohi ban gaya. So how is possible? Then Meena ji, said about a dream. When we go to sleep, all of us remember some dreams, right? Good or bad. Where did it come from? It didn't come from outside, it come from my own mind. My own mind made myself also, my friends also, dunya also, and wherever you want to ghoom gham ke aa gaye, laddu bhi khud bhi ban gaye, kha liya, jo bhi, everything, right? So it's possible. So that's what they were talking about, all this, And then the next verse, actually, I explained it already, this one. And this is what we are kind of going to read today. So it says, in the beginning was verily the non-existence. So यहाँ पर ये confusion है थोड़ा सा. The reason it said non-existence, because from our perspective, what we see is existence, but where it came from, that unmanifest. And just to be very, very simple, that somebody say, how can manifest become unmanifest, other way around? It happens in front of our eyes. You take a block of ice, it is solid, it has a form. Usko idhar maine rakh diya, and everybody can see it. And then I started giving heat. What will happen to it? Melt, and it will become more subtle, it will start flowing. You keep giving it heat, what will happen? Evaporate and become unmanifest. Did it mean that the ice disappeared? We might say it is disappeared, but in science we'll say nope. Those molecules are still there floating in the thing, and one day it can come back as rain, and again you can make it ice out of it, recycle, right? But from our perspective, it became unmanifest. So that's why they call it, the word they use is asat, just for the students, that in the beginning there was non-existence. That's what it means. From that, the existence was born. So Swamiji is going to explain that technically from non-existent, existence cannot come. कोई चीज है ही नहीं, कुछ उसमें से कैसे निकल के बाहर आ सकती है? तो इसका मतलब कुछ है, मुझे दिखाई नहीं देता है. That's how we have to look at it. It's a little technical. Then created itself by itself. That we understood, right? Just like a spider creates the web out of its own saliva. That's the best example in the world. Because it is created by itself, it has to be good. It has to be divine. And we discussed last class, whoever was there, everything is divine. And it depends on your drishti, But if you see everything very closely, तो उसमें सब faulty fault nazar aata hai, because you say, what is this? But you go further, and you see the beauty. Even you don't have to go further physically, in your mind also if you go further. There's a harmony in the world. Everything is very harmonized, the whole solar system, everything that we do. But if you just take a small piece, you cannot understand the world. That's what he's trying to tell you over here. And then that's why it's called the self-made or the well-made. So first idea that they want to say, that whatever you see in the world, don't think it's a bad thing. if I'm looking at bad, because my drishti is not wide, bigger. That's all it is. Sometimes even bad things happen. There has to be a reason to fix it, something. Because even Mahabharat war, some people will say, why did Krishna Bhagwan not stop it? It has to be done. And then somebody was saying, even one amazing drishtant, somebody had put a video and उसमें उन्होंने analyze किया था कि Krishna Bhagwan, he had to wipe the earth of all the bad guys. So he made this Kaurav Pandav kind of have a conflict with each other so that he could wipe it out. And he didn't do it himself. He made them do it. Because even in the highest sense, Bhagwan doesn't do anything. He can, through us, he gets things done. That we become the means. Yeah, because we are his instruments. Yeah, so that's what it is. So there are so many things in this, it's loaded, but that's the whole idea about this, okay? So we will, maybe would you like to read that?
You want to read?
Yeah, you can read. That's fine.
So this one, we will, all I will tell that's a little difficult subject. So just try to understand whoever doesn't have the book, and I will try to explain what it's saying.
In the beginning was verily the non-existence, from that the existent was born, that created itself by itself. Therefore, it is called the self-made or the well-made. This is a stanza often quoted by those who claim that non-existence is the eternal truth, because according to the Vedic mantra, as quoted here, non-existence alone existed before all creation. This mischievous misinterpretation cannot stand the scrutiny of even a moment's quiet thinking. The very sentence, non-existence existed, is itself a palpable contradiction, and whenever there is a seeming contradiction, it is for us to find the correct meaning and understand the statement rightly.
So here Swamiji is just warning that, if you just take the word meaning, you might go in the wrong direction. And there are some philosophy of some kind in India which believe in that there is nothing, there is shunya. Much I've heard of that word. Shunya is there, that, they don't, like, I'm not criticizing any religion, so don't take me wrong. Buddha didn't talk about God, not because some people believe that he knew about it, he understood and everything, but he didn't want to make it too complicated for everybody. Because, so he just said, how to get out of your misery, that was the goal. So he talked, in Buddhism they talk about shunya. They don't talk about Atma, they don't talk about soul or, Paramatma and all that. But Vedanta is like, that's the thing. If you want to study Vedanta, you will have to believe in all that, So, and then he's saying that, like just exactly what I said, that there's a pehle non-existence or फिर existence आया. So he's saying it's a contradiction because शून्य में से कुछ कैसे आ सकता है? That means there is something. That's all he's saying. That, from existence has to come from another existence only. And then our teacher used to say, शेर का बच्चा जो है ना बिल्ली नहीं होगा, शेर ही होगा. I like that a lot. So if we have come from Paramatma, we are part of that only.
But it's true, right? The shunya is equal to Brahman,
what we say, it's a Purna. We call it Purna, yes. And Shunya. Their Shunya is our Purna. Purna is complete. So that's a good one.
In the beginning, that is before the manifested world was created, it was all in a state of non-existence, in the sense that existence, as we know now, conditioned by the various objects, manifest and unmanifest, did not exist, and so non-existence existed. It is only to negate the manifested world as known to us today. In this stream that Vedanta says, here non-existence existed. Out of that non-existence, the existence was born. Out of a piece of silver, a gold part cannot be made. And if the effect is gold part, certainly the cause must have been gold. Similarly, if out of non-existence, the existence was born, then what we mean by non-existence can only be the non-existence of the created. From existence only can the existence emerge.
So we already discussed that there is something there, उसमें से ये दुनिया बनी है, that we have to accept that. And then he's saying the only reason they are saying it non-existent, the word they are using, because from our perspective, जो हम देखते हैं वो दुनिया है, और जब नहीं है तो as though नहीं है, but all it means unmanifest. That example that I gave of that bhashp, I mean, क्या बोलते हैं उसको इंग्लिश में, vapors of water. Just because I don't see doesn't mean, all it is means it's an unmanifest form. Okay?
I think what it says here, the non-existence can only be the non-existence of the created. I mean, that's what the understanding is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That there is in this creation no intervention of a creator is shown by mantra by insisting that spring created itself by itself. Let us take the analogy of our common dreams. I, having had my food, retire to the security of warmth of my comfortable bedroom, and then dream in my bed that I am starving. In some unknown valley of Darjeeling, there, let me read it again. I, having had my food, retire to the security and warmth of my comfortable bedroom, and then I dream in the bed that I am starving in some unknown valley of Darjeeling. There, bitten by cold, struck by fatigue, and torn by hunger, I am roaming in the jungles when a beast of prey pounces on me and forms around a bush. Here, the bush, the jungle, the beast of prey, and its victim, all are created from me, by myself, and the moment I withdraw back again to the waking state of consciousness, the dream fades away into nothingness, from which it had come. Exactly by the same process, the stream, having identified itself with a desire, creates a field out of itself by itself.
So Swamiji is just saying that भगवान ने किसी को कंसल्ट नहीं किया, कोई कंसल्टिंग कंपनी हायर नहीं किया कि मुझे अभी दुनिया बनानी है. उनके अपने ही मन में ख्याल आया, जो भी बोलो, whatever way you want to say, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है, हे तुम अपना ड्रीम देखो. Did anybody say to you tonight you must dream this and एक लिस्ट दिया ऐसा ऐसा कर, नहीं ना. So I went to sleep and my own mind created it. It came for a while, थोड़ा मजा वजा करके या डर के जो भी है, again it got dissolved. So
भगवान को क्यों ख्याल आया?
अभी क्यों आया तो सबसे बेस्ट एग्जांपल मैं देती हूँ. आपके ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन जब छोटे थे, क्यों बैठ के खेलते हैं पूरा 6-6 घंटा? Why do we go and see the sports and all that? Tell me. Is it doing something for you? What? Just entertainment. Maja. Because we all, like to. We go for picnic, we go for this, we go for that. Why do we do it? भगवान को भी लगा कि मैं अकेला ही हूँ, तो चलो अभी तो बहुत सारे बना लेते हैं, मजा करते हैं थोड़ा. तो भगवान ने तो मजा के लिए बनाया, हम लोग दुखी होके बैठ गए. That's what, तुम ही भगवान हो, तुम ही ने बनाया है इसके लिए. थोड़ा मजा कर लो और चले जाओ. बच्चे लोग, I live close to the beach. Some of them make such elaborate sand castles and all that. एक बड़ी लहर आई, गया सब. उनको मालूम है. Why are they doing it then? Hours they spend on it. And even little children I see, they don't need any toy on the beach. All they need is a little shovel and sand. Hours. Back and forth. इतने खुश नजर आता है. So that's what, if you want to know why this was created, go back to children and you will get the answer.
That's why they call it Krishna Leela.
हम लोग भी ऐसे ही है, हम लोग वी कैन नॉट सिट। आपको मैं बोलूँ कि सारे दिन में बैठ जाओ, मैं खाना भी ला के देती हूँ आपको, सब आपको अच्छा लगेगा? नहीं नहीं, मेरे को बाहर देखना है क्या हो, गो डू समथिंग, यू नो।
The pluralistic world, therefore, is nothing but himself and he, being perfect and divine. The created world is not to be condemned as something that is born out of sin, which is the unhappy philosophy of the Christian Bible. But here, the noble cultured tradition of the Hindu considers the world as Sukratam, well done, divinely planned and perfectly executed. The Semitic religions all weep at their own imperfections when they compare themselves with the beauty and completeness of Vedanta.
So I find that Vedanta is a very happy place to be. The first thing they will tell you, you are Bhagwan only. Hey, who has given you that big title? दुनिया में जाओ तो सब बोलेंगे ये कम है तुम्हारे में, वो कम है, you are not qualified, you can't get this. Vedanta is saying, hey, you are that. You're just playing a role of something over here, like a drama में. You know, somebody was saying कि जो actor होता है ना, वो एक बार जिंदगी में villain जरूर बनना चाहता है. पूछो उसको जाके, because he wants to, वो अपना talent दिखाना चाहता है कि मैं ये भी बन सकता हूँ. You know? So that's what it is. We can't take it so seriously, this world that like we do. And then we know that, you know, that some other religion, they say, oh, Adam and Eve, you know, उन्होंने वो फल खा लिया, but it's born out of sin. No, we don't think like that at all. We think that everything is divine coming from the divine. How can it be? Like we said, gold ornaments coming from gold. It is gold only. So we have to look at it, what they are saying like that.
Altogether, this theory of creation provides us with a complete philosophy and not an objective theory. It is not giving us the logic of creation as much as the methods of transcending it. It prescribes the secret solvent with which we can resolve the bundles of contradictions we meet with and around us and within our hearts.
So this is a very, very important thing, that it's not only talking about the theory, but how the logic of creation, but how to transcend it. Because don't get too caught up in it. And then when we come to Bhagavad Gita, the whole chapter 15 is about that Krishna Bhagavan describes the whole cosmos like a tree, upside down tree. And then he tells Arjuna, cut it with the sword of non-attachment. You know, what does it mean? That, you know, tree is the only one that can be cut. You can, usko jad se ukhada nahi ja sakta hai tree ko. Nobody can do it, but you can cut it. So he's saying non-attachment means don't get too attached to anything. Just for a play, enjoy yourself, and then we are not here permanently by any means. So they're temporary. So that's what they're trying to say, that it tells you to transcend. It's just for leela, for play, whatever you want to call it, you know. So that's what it is.
Like movie, don't get addicted to much.
Exactly, and movie हम लोग जितनी ज़्यादा complicated movie होगी ना, उतना वो blockbuster बनती है कि नहीं? अगर कोई movie में एक था राजा एक थी रानी, दोनों मर गए, खत्म कहानी, कोई नहीं जाएगा. उसमें villain भी होना चाहिए, खूब drama, and you are crying, you are, कितनी अच्छी movie थी. Right? So that's why this world is full of masala also. All kinds of people and all, सब नमूने, सब हम भी वैसे ही हैं नमूने. And we just enjoy everybody, but don't get too attached to it. That's what he's trying to tell us.
For me, the supreme test of that level of attachment or unattachment will come at the time when I am about to leave this body. Then I will know whether I have understood anything or not.
And you know, it is one of those things, we all will have to face it.
Yeah.
You know, and then very interesting what you said, but one saint brought this point up, and you think about it, all of us need to think about it. He said that we think that we can't drop everything, you know, we can still feel attached, right, with our children, our house, our things, all of us, including myself, we all have that problem. By saying that we practice non-attachment every day. See how? When you want to sleep, when the sleep is coming very strong, वो टाइम पे कोई बोलेगा खाना खा लो, नहीं, भागो यहाँ से. in any kind of, and you can't even like hold on to somebody and sleep for the whole night. You have to let go and just be in your own world. Look, every 24 hours we practice that attachment, we never think about it. Sleep में you can't take anything. हमारे जो दुख दर्द है वो भी खत्म हो जाते हैं डीप स्लीप में, राइट? कितना भी पेन हो, that's why we all love to sleep. नहीं होगा तो नींद की गोलियां खा के सोएंगे, लेकिन सोना जरूर है, because that's where only we get peace. So we all know it, how to do it. We just think we cannot do it. That's what he said. So I thought that was a very good point.
We are nothing in sleep.
Yeah, sleep. And सबकी sleep, deep sleep का quality एक ही होती है. Whether कोई गरीब हो, कोई महल में सोया हो, कोई पत्थर पे सोया हो, कोई बीमार हो, कोई बहुत healthy हो, सबकी deep sleep is same quality.
I think they say for animals as well.
Yes. That's why people look so. कितना भी दुष्ट आदमी होएगा ना, स्लीप में बहुत अच्छा दिखता है. You feel so, कितना शांत, कितना अच्छा है.
That's why we say the children look like angels.
Angels, oh my God, they look. Children look like angels even when they are awake, but sleep में तो it's double, right? Yeah. So peaceful, and you just sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
We say it.
The philosophy of Taittiriya is such a brilliant idol wrapped in glorious optimism that in its shrine, the sobbing and the sighing man gets revived to a godly beauty that wears an eternal smile, the smile that wells up from satisfied, blissful heart. A man who has followed Taittiriya properly and realized the truth indicated by it can no more thereafter feel an imperfection anywhere in the world, since the plurality is but a superimposition upon reality. Thus, the existence, wherever it be, is but existence borrowed from the Supreme.
So it's just saying that how beautiful it's telling you that whatever you see, if it has come from Bhagwan and superimposition, I know a lot of new people are there, then how do we explain? Actually, they say that in that pure Brahman, no change happens. So this world is just like a projection. How do we understand the projection? It's like the most famous gold. Gold. I'm talking about snake and the rope. That you in the backyard, a rope is lying like that, and then when you see it, it's dark, so you see, oh my God, snake, and then actually dikhai deta hai. So you cannot say it is false also, but if you go deep into it, once they say that you put the lights on, oh my God, it's just a rope, and then all the fear and all goes away. They're saying the world is just a projection. The projection is also beautiful. That's all it's saying, And then our teacher used to say that, where do you see the snake? Where? Do you see it somewhere else? No, where the rope is there. So wherever you see the world, that's where God is. See, simple. If you see that analogy, that hey, God is not somewhere beyond, He does exist beyond. For us, that's what it is. Wherever you see dunya, that's where God is, because this is His projection.
Therefore, the entire world of multiplicity comes to wear a robe of divinity and an aura of perfection to one who is true student of Taittiriya. There is no trace of cynicism, nor is there any Taittiriya view of life, any hint at the futility of life, or the foolishness of recognizing a word. The word is no more a chain upon the soul, but it's a glorious occasion to recognize the dynamism of the spirit and its perfection, both in its transcendent and immanent presence. The word is sukratam, well made, divinely planned, and perfectly executed.
So this is the most positive paragraph, is telling that whoever studies the Taittiriya Upanishad, will have a beautiful view of life, because if you see it from that angle, that it is a projection from God, So then, and then there are two words that you, transcendental and eminent presence. So this is a really technical word. Transcendental means God, exists beyond the world also. It's like gold and the ornament. The ornament cannot exist without gold. Correct? You can't take out the gold out of the ornament and say, okay, kali shape hang kar raha hai. No. Gold goes, ornament. But a gold block can be without the ornament. Right? Same exact way. So that's called transcendental. Eminent presence means in the ornament there is gold. Right there. That's called eminent. So both are there. Yeah. So that's what those technical words mean. So he's just bringing it back to the same thing, that the world, don't look at it as anything bad at all. Look at it something beautiful, and if we are seeing bad, it is our own mind playing tricks on us. That's all it is. So God is made sukrutam. That word we should all memorize. Krutam means to make something. Sukrutam means very nicely made. And then we were talking about it, that all these people who have gone to the moon and landed, when they look at the earth, unka jo vision hota hai na, wo samjho hamara hona chahiye. And when you go somewhere else, then even earth is supposed to be divine, right? It's like a shining star. So that's what it is, that it is divine, accept it. And why it was created? Maja maja. Keep it maja maja. Okay, so this is it. Any question, comment? Anybody wants to add anything to this Sukrutam? Looks like everybody's satisfied with Swamiji's commentary. We all go happy today.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so I'll close. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukha Bhavet, Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah, Hari Om. So whoever is not on our list, you can give me the name. Came for the first time.
Or want a book.
Yeah, and the book. And maybe introduce yourself, whoever the new others we kind of know.
Well, let's start with everybody.
Okay, good idea. If you guys have few minutes.
Yeah.
Sure. Hi, my name is Rohit.
Rohit?
Rohit.
Rohit. Oh yeah, you told me last time. Yes, Rohit.
Hi, my name is Vata. Malini. My name is Shobna.
My name is Nita.
So you came first time today.
Yeah.
Myself, Gopal Mukmana.
I'm Urban. I've been absent for a couple of months, but I'm so glad to be back.
Where were you? Tell us, where were you?
Maja maja. No, I'm just kidding.
Meena, Sangeeta. Came here the first time.
Dilip Shah.
It might be a good idea also to give the last name also, because some of the names are common. There might be 3 Meenas here and Meenas.
I'm Meena Patel.
Yeah.
This is JP Patel. Sangeeta Patel.
Okay, so that makes
So many Patel. Urmila Shah.
Kanti. Only Kanti here.
You don't want to be.
Only Atma.
Vanita Patel.
I'm Mahendra Desai. It's my first time here.
Nalini.
Anuradha Naik.
Girish Ahuja is my sister is visiting from Calcutta.
Oh.
Yeah, you came last time. Nice.
I'm Sushil Baluja.
And Meena Baluja, wife.
Uma Agarwal. So welcome all the new people, and then we usually, first I was almost thinking that, when from our old group there were so many people couldn't come for this once a month. So I said, do I need to do this? But after seeing today, I think I must. There's something about the mandir.
Yes.
It's positive energy and things like that. Yeah. So
From the old group, there are only 4 people here.
I know.
Yeah.
But
All new faces.
I think Krishna Bhagwan is infusing new energy into the class. And so that old people can wake up. Yeah. So what I was saying is that whoever is not we have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put the name Whoever is not on it, if you're not getting it, give it to me. And whoever wants the 2 books, let me know. I think this Upanishad is out of stock right now, but maybe by the time I go, they might be there. So.
And the book also, the Gita one, because if you don't want to buy the whole set, they have individual ones also.
I recommend this.
Yeah.
The reason I recommend it, because you can, if you're reading a chapter and if you're going when you go to doctor's office and all that, best to take over there, because I don't know when the doctor is going to see you. I have covered so much.